If you've ever tried selling your old phone, then you know it can be a massive pain to get more than a few pennies for what seems like a perfectly functional device. Are all of these sell us your phone companies a scam? Well, I bought a brand new iPhone Air for $1,000, and in this video, I will be trying to sell it to as many places as I can find. So I have these 4 phones here to sell today, and to start with, I went on eBay to get a sense of what each of these are going for at the moment. This Windows phone here is sitting around $50. The iPhone SE Gen 2 is going for about $60 to $70 depending on condition. The iPhone 13 Pro is looking like $200 to $220. And the brand new iPhone Air should be selling for around $900 to $950. But let's go ahead and see what some other places are offering compared to these values. So we went into this very rainy GameStop. Feels like an ominous sign. And excuse this interesting camera angle, we had to make a little contraption to make sure we could secretly film without anybody knowing. And I basically explained to the GameStop employee that I have these 3 phones here, but then I also have the iPhone Air that I'm thinking of returning, but because I was already gonna sell these anyway, I was just curious what you guys would offer for this, right? And starting with the Windows phone, they actually really like this one.
This phone is sick.
Unfortunately, despite them thinking that the phone was pretty cool, they didn't even really want to make an offer on it because they're pretty much only looking for Samsungs and iPhones.
Just Apple or Samsung.
Moving on to those iPhones though, we eventually got it to show an offer of
$276 store credit or $204 cash.
So he's talking a lot about store credits and the Pro membership and the cash value. Basically, if I have a Pro membership and I'm getting store credit, the total for the 2 iPhones he was going to take, because we haven't gotten to the Air yet, would be $276. So wait, doesn't that mean we're basically getting like over $100 for the iPhone SE? Maybe I should have taken him up on that offer. I don't know if I'm going to find a better one all day. Oh, and by the way, when I tried to sell the iPhone Air, the computer just didn't even know what to do.
I don't know why it's not working.
And I guess it's not terribly surprising, by the way, that they don't take the iPhone Air quite yet, because the most recent phones they will take are the iPhone 16 Pros. Now, what's funny is that the guy actually really liked the iPhone Air. He's sitting there playing around with it. He's holding his hands. He's like checking it out. We were talking about the thickness of the camera bump for a second. And I did take some photos. I mean, honestly, they look pretty good considering the phone only has 1 camera. Whenever I get a new phone, I take tons of photos to like test the cameras and stuff. And while I could buy a subscription to Google Photos or Apple Photos or whatever and back my pictures up to the cloud, I would of course have to pay a monthly subscription fee, and ultimately I'd be trusting that my data is safe in someone else's servers, which really sucks. But what if there was a way to back up all of your phone's data while keeping it safely stored at home? Well, thanks to Ugreen, the sponsor of today's video, I have their DH2300 NAS that does exactly that. Now, in case you don't know what a NAS is, it's a storage device attached to your network that has built-in RAID redundancy, meaning that if one drive fails, your files stay protected on the other one. Here at our office, we've been using a gigantic NAS for years. It does a great job keeping all of our old data safe, but at home, I really need something that's a little easier to use. Like this Ugreen NAS. Just pop in your hard drives, plug it in, and set it up straight from the Ugreen NAS app on your phone. You can even use NFC to log in. The whole process took me maybe 10 minutes start to finish, and you all know I do not know what I'm doing. Once the NAS is up and running, it automatically backs up my iPhone's photo album and anything else on my network that I want it to. You can even access it remotely. Like, as you can see, I'm out in the middle of nowhere right now, and yet I can still access my NAS just fine. Also, uploading a 2GB file to the NAS is way faster than uploading it to Google Drive. So if you're looking to protect your photos and other data, I would highly recommend picking up the Ugreen DH2300 NAS. Don't wait until it's too late to save your photos. Check out my exclusive link down below to get 20% off today. Anyway, moving on to our next place I wanted to check out. We gotta check out Best Buy, right? And by the way, yes, if you did not know, they take trade-ins on phones. But you guys know I was not gonna be happy with this stupid little website interface. I had to go to an in-person Best Buy and find out what the experience was like in real life. So first of all, we get to the Best Buy, we're walking around, and it was a little bit of a pain to find out where the heck you even go to do this. Do you go to the cell phone section? Do you go to the Geek Squad? Do you go to like returns? Do you go to the checkout? What do you do? In my Best Buy, they told me to go to the front checkout area. So I don't know, mileage may vary there. It took a lot of conversation and explaining to the lady up front that I wanted to sell the phones, but eventually she was able to get me a price for the iPhone 13 Pro.
With this one, they give you $140.
And surprisingly, this actually matches up directly with what the website showed us earlier, so at least the information here is consistent. She next looked into the iPhone SE Gen 2.
$30.
Gotcha. Okay, never mind, $30. Hey, at least that's twice as much as what the stupid website was offering. But you guys know I had to ask about the iPhone Air.
And that's the new one that you were talking about, right?
Mm-hmm. Too new. Gotcha. Starting to wonder if some of these places are thinking that I might have stolen this phone. I did not. We bought this legit, I promise. Now, the next place that I wanted to check out here is there's so many websites like this that claim to buy your phones. Here's one called Gazelle. Let's just go straight to sell your device and see what this shows. Are these the only options? Sell iPhone, Samsung, Google phone, iPad. Why, you don't want my Windows phone? What's wrong with the Windows phone? Come on, it's new enough. Interesting, they have a list of iPhones here. It looks like these are all the iPhones they're currently looking for. All the way on the bottom of the list, they have the iPhone SE 2nd Gen, that's the right model. Your Gazelle offer, $54. You know, honestly, as long as that's an accurate price to what you're actually going to get, that's not too bad. But let's go back to this iPhone page and move on to our iPhone 13 Pro, $192. So this one we're losing a little more, but that's not too egregious of a loss, all things considered. But finally, we have to try the iPhone Air, right? Your Gazelle offer $500. $500. It seems to me like the more expensive the phones get, the worse their offer ends up being. Anyway, let's move on to a more interesting website that we can check out here. This is EcoATM. This is somewhat similar to a lot of like the reselling websites where you just put your phone in it, it'll give you an offer. But anyway, we've seen all that before. The main difference with EcoATM is that they actually have a little bit of extra convenience. They have physical kiosks that you can take your phones to. They have this little robot that'll investigate your phone and make sure it's actually like what you say it is. And they can even like pay you cash right at the kiosk. It's very convenient. So for this one, we really just wanted to see if it would take the iPhone Air at all. We didn't really want to waste a bunch of time messing around with this robot to see if it would get the same price that it inevitably would show on the website for the iPhone 13 Pro, right? And after taking 20 years to scan the phone, we get this, what is this? Oops, your phone is too new for me to buy. Oh, come on now. It makes me wonder, like, how new is too new, and at what point do they actually start buying these phones? I really have no idea. Anyway, let's try one more of these websites that claim to buy your phones off you. This one's a little more interesting, though. CellCell here will look at a bunch of different websites at once and show you all the offers that they would make on your phone. Oh, that's nice. I can just type in iPhone SE, and we can see right here, second gen, top price, $82. You don't even gotta search it. Wait, $82? Really? Oh, it's because it's putting it in a bunch of stuff automatically. Unlocked, 64 gig, good condition. Okay, more like $40. That sucks. All right, let's move on to the iPhone 13 Pro. Once again, it wants to default to a bunch of things. T-Mobile, 128, good condition. Hey, 220. I might take them up on that. That's actually a really good deal. How about our Windows Phone, HTC? This is an 8X. Sorry, we found no results. Oh, come on now. Nobody wants the Windows Phone. They don't know what they're missing out on. And finally, let's check out our iPhone Air. It's an unlocked 256 gig, mint condition, $714. You're losing almost $300 of value, and it's a brand new phone. Come on now. But anyway, as you can see, this checks a bunch of the different websites for you, saving you, a bunch of time at least. But this will take us to our next category of places you can sell a phone, which is basically like pawn shops, but trying to play it off like they're not pawn shops. Like this Paymore here, which is a chain, I guess. But you probably have a store just like this in your area, just like a general electronics store that'll buy your old laptops and things like that off you. Now this one I could go through their website, but really, I just wanted to go in person, talk to somebody, and see what they had to say about our iPhone situation. And Windows Phone, don't want to forget the Windows Phone. Now, I handed her the pile of phones, right? Because I explained the whole situation. I'm going to sell like these two right here, like these two iPhones. If you want the Windows Phone, please take it off my hands. But I also have this shiny new iPhone Air. And as soon as she saw it, she had to have it in her hands and start investigating what was going on with it.
Ew. I like that.
And you know what's funny is that despite how much she did not like the iPhone Air at all, she took forever like trying to figure out like what are people even trying to sell these for? What are they buying them for? And eventually she said,
"No, it's too new. You actually can't sell it here."
That's amazing.
Oh my God.
Either way, we wait around for another like 20 minutes or so, and she eventually comes back with an offer for all three of the iPhones. Once again, the Windows Phone is being neglected tragically.
For these two phones, I am looking at $155 between the two of them.
Yeah, $155 for the SE2 and the 13 Pro here. That's a terrible offer right off the bat.
This one, I was looking at like $600 to start.
$600 for the iPhone Air. That's $400 off brand new. I was thinking like in an ideal world, it's like, oh, maybe we bundle them all together for like $1,000. You basically make your money back and I get rid of some phones or something. I don't know. And this is supposed to be the place that's like better than pawn shops. You know what? We're gonna fact check this. What happens if I take an iPhone Air to a literal pawn shop? Will they call the cops on me thinking it's a stolen phone? We'll find out. You know, I gotta say, this place was very impressive. I walk in there, they greet me with kindness right off the bat. Anyway, I basically explained to her that I'm looking to sell these iPhones, and once again, I have the iPhone Air if you're interested. This is funny though, everyone in the store had to see this. They were all checking it out, seeing how thin it was.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
That's interesting.
Michelle, look how thin the iPhone Air is.
Unfortunately, as per usual, the only way we're going to be able to sell the Windows Phone is eBay, apparently, because no one wants to buy it. And then again, I appreciate the honesty and the speed of this lady. She immediately looks at the SE2 and she's like, you know what, I'm going to have to pass on it because I'll only be able to offer you like $20, and I don't think you want that. And she's right. Now, I explained to her that the 13 Pro, right, I've been getting something like 180 some places, which is a bit of a stretch. eBay, though, eBay, right? And she comes back to me with a price of...
I think I'd probably be more like a 150 on that one.
She doesn't want to budge from 150. I respect that. And at this point, she basically immediately confirmed that she was not too interested in the Air. She just was curious what it was. But I went ahead and asked her anyway.
Do you even buy new phones like that are this new?
We could, but it's not. It's better for you to go return it.
Oh yeah, I would assume.
Yeah,
so.
I wouldn't even make an offer on that.
Gotcha.
Wow. Again, this pawn shop, the honesty out of this pawn shop, I'm frankly impressed. But all right, there are seriously like 2 million of these websites. Let's try one more. Back Market. Oh, perfect. They have a section for other phones. What brand is your smartphone? HTC. Uh-oh. I don't see our phone on here. Yeah, so I guess no Windows Phone then. That's another one that just doesn't want the Windows experience. Why? Well, whatever. Let's move on to the iPhones. Oh, wow. This place will take all the way back to iPhone 5s. That's crazy. Anyway, let's select our iPhone SE 2020. Second gen. Ta-da, we found the best price. The refurbisher is ready to pay $31. It's a little low. It's a little low, isn't it? What's interesting is that this place seems to be selling your device to a refurbisher. Like, what does that mean? Who knows? Let's move on to our next iPhone here. It's an iPhone 13 Pro, 128 gigabyte, 159. Oh, God. All right, one last time. Maybe the iPhone Air will be a bit more of like a reasonable offer. Oh, never mind. They won't even offer like the iPhone 17 line, like the 17, 17 Pro and the iPhone Air. It's not even listed on here yet, so that's a fat zero from this company for the iPhone Air. But yeah, guys, of course, there are endless places you could sell phones. You know, you could do Facebook Marketplace, but that's super dependent on your area and your tolerance for dealing with weirdos out there. Either way, though, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see our experience getting an iPhone 17 already from TikTok, of all places, click this video right here. Given that we paid about $70 for that phone, you can kind of guess the kind of experience we ended up running into. So yeah, check out the video. It was crazy.